Hey, here's how to use Coinbase and Coinbase Advanced. Let's start with the simple version of Coinbase. When you log in, you can use the search bar here to search for your favorite crypto. For example, Bitcoin or Ripple. You can then buy some crypto, but to do that first you'll need to deposit money into your account. So you can click on Deposit Cash and you'll be able to transfer money from your bank account to Coinbase using PayID or BSB bank account. It may be a little bit different depending on where you're located, but these are the options available for me. Normally my bank makes a 24-hour hold for any money that's deposited into Coinbase. Once Coinbase receives your transfer, those funds will be available over here and ready to purchase your crypto with. To purchase your crypto, just go to buy. You can then enter the dollar amount, or by pressing this little toggle over here, the number of crypto coins you wish to purchase. You can also make recurring orders if you want to set up daily, weekly, or monthly purchases. But let's make a one-time order just for this demo. When you click review order, oh, that's a new toggle here, new feature. You can basically see a summary of your transaction, and if you just hover over the amount over here and click, you'll be able to see a detailed breakdown of the cost to purchase your cryptocurrency as well as the associated fees. Just keep that in mind for a second. I'll show you how much cheaper Coinbase Advanced is in just a second. You can then close that, and if you're happy, click buy now. Once you purchase, you can then navigate to the My Assets, and you'll be able to see a list of all the cryptocurrencies that you have purchased and your holdings. If you've just purchased, give it about 3 to 4 minutes before you come and check here, because it does take a few minutes for it to reflect your latest holdings. Now let's have a look at the same process using Coinbase Advanced. Navigate to this toggle on the bottom left and click that. It can look slightly overwhelming at first, but let me just explain a few of the key items you're seeing, and it will be very simple once you understand where everything is. So this bar over here is what you can do to search for any cryptocurrency. So let's go there and type BTC, for example. It'll automatically revert to watch list, which is confusing. So just head over to spot, and that is the market for the crypto that you search. So these are all the Bitcoin markets available. So you can click on the Bitcoin US dollar market, for example. And it will load up the associated chart. You can also close this area if you no longer need it by pressing the X. And if you want it to appear again, just go up here, click, and it will re-enable you to search for any other crypto that you're looking for. But by closing that, you get a little bit more space to work with. So we've got the graph now. Using the scrolly on your mouse, you can scroll up and down to zoom in or out of the graph. By clicking this over here, the D, that stands for duration, you can select each candlestick that you're seeing. Each one of these is a candlestick to a number of minutes or hours or day. If you select a shorter duration, you'll only see more recent price action. So notice how I'm just looking at the last few days of action. You can tell by where my mouse is over here. Now if I go to 1 day candlesticks, you'll see that you can see a larger duration all the way back, in this case, to a couple of years ago. And by scrolling up and down with your mouse, you can choose to zoom in or out of the graph. Now let's have a look at these confusing columns over here. The top area on the order book is all the people queuing up to sell that particular currency. The area below that is all the buyers queuing up to buy. The price action between this, where I'm hovering my mouse now, and this here is where the market is meeting. And those trades here are executing and end up in this area here called the trade history. Now, once you've selected the coin, you can then navigate to the right hand side over here and choose to either buy or sell. You can choose to create a limit order. I've created a full tutorial on that. I'll put a link in the description. And that allows you to say, hey, I want to wait till this particular coin reaches a particular price before my order is executed. So it allows you to sell a buy or sell price at which you want it to execute. The market setting will allow you to buy this particular Bitcoin or cryptocurrency at the current market price. And I've covered stop limit in more detail in a separate tutorial. So depending on what you're after, select limit or market. You can then enter the amount of coin that you wish to purchase. Or by selecting the toggle over here, you can enter the amount of US dollars worth of that coin to purchase. Remember how I said pay close attention to the fee in Coinbase Simple? If I put a similar size transaction here, you'll notice that the fee earlier was around $1, and the fee here using Coinbase Advanced is hardly 7 cents. The larger your transaction, the larger the fee, but Coinbase Advanced, in my experience, is usually about half the cost in fees than the Coinbase Simple version. So keep that in mind. And when you're ready, you can buy that Bitcoin. And if you've chosen market, it will execute immediately. And if you've chosen limit, I'll show you an example of that really quickly. Let's say I want to put a limit of 60,000. If Bitcoin hits that, I will buy a small amount. What happens when you place that order? If it doesn't execute immediately, is it ends up down here in the order management area. There you can see a list of orders that you have created and waiting for them to meet the requirements to execute. You can press the 3 dots over here to review, edit, or cancel that order completely. It costs you nothing, so I'm going to cancel that, and that will soon disappear. That's all I'm going to cover today. I've covered other topics on Coinbase Advanced in other tutorials. Feel free to check them out, but if you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask in the comments.